Based off of what Dad said in like a minute and 30 seconds, what are you hearing her say about this whole thing? And then I'm gonna come to you, Dad, and ask you the same question. I just want to see if you guys are understanding each other's point because y'all just standing on business for how y'all feel, but y'all listening to one another to understand where the other person is coming from. So, Viz, you go first. What are you hearing Dad say?
What I'm hearing Dad say is making excuses as to why she was not standing there with her husband. My mental health was a problem. So because I'm gonna be selfish and not consider my family and the unit and the way that we are going to be perceived in the world, not just in Illinois, not just in the Midwest, but the world. So that now is irrelevant. I'm only worried about what is most
No,
important.
I just want to know what
That's what I'm hearing her say.
Okay, so you're hearing her say what again?
That she has a right to be selfish.
She has a right to be selfish because of what?
Because of her mental health or whatever excuses she was saying that she said.
Okay. Dad, what are you hearing Viz say?
That she has no excuse. She's not allowed any she's not allowed those mental health days because of her position. Her position is so high that those mental health days can impact our community.
Okay, so can you guys understand each other's point? Where would you guys say each other's point is fair?
I understand their point, but the way they came out here and just chew her out like that and tried to back, and this is what most black women do. And no, I don't.
I just want to stay on if you thought Viz made a fair point. Now, you may not totally agree with everything he's saying, but his point was
I agree. Yeah, okay. Because I'm not stuck in my own ways and my own feelings. So yeah, okay. I can understand where Viz is coming from. I'm diverse like that.
But can you understand her point?
Hell no.
Okay, why can't you understand her point?
Because she's the first lady. She married a man that got into politics, that became one of the most powerful men in the world, and he's also a black man amongst other white men. So there's no excuses for that. With great power comes great responsibility. So if you signed up for that, then that's what you are committed to. That's what marriage is. There is no excuses. But she believes that a strong black man that's a leader and that feels that way is a weak man, in which it doesn't make sense at all.
I think that people use mental health as an excuse to be weak. Like every time something happens, they be like, "No, it's not. Oh God, my mental health." Like when people do this week, like this lady is the first lady of the United States. Her mental game is A1. I just don't believe that. And I think that we do that as a community because the dominant society does that, right? They use mental illness as a place that they can run and hide and use as an excuse. That's not an excuse.
Aisha, right? How long did you hate your husband before you divorced him?
My 17 years.
Okay, right? Then. So what do you mean? Your mental, but obviously your mental health has something to do with why you left.
Can you just let her finish, please, or that? Can you just let her
for their mental health when you can't say what they have to endure during that time period? Obviously, mental health matters to some
capacity. Having a bad faith argument, first of all, because it can't.
Go hollow.
We can only go ahead. You're having a bad faith argument because it can't be proven. That lady mental health is A1 as far as I'm concerned.
How do you know that?
How don't you know that?
Based because she talked about it when she was talking about how the last inauguration affected her. That's why I looked at an article.
That's the last one or the last?
The one that she went, the last Trump inauguration.
We can 8 years ago.
Be true.
It don't
I can
matter.
only go,
That's
I
the
can
thing,
go off of
because
what
y'all
is.
as men don't feel what women feel. Y'all try to discredit it, and that's fucked up. And then y'all
Aisha
wonder why
ain't
y'all
no
got
man.
so many black women in this community with attitudes, because if they cry and show emotion, y'all want to talk shit. That shit lame.
Aisha ain't no man.
I'm not a man. And I felt the same way, my darling.
I
Two
understand.
two women on here feel the same way.
Right? But I just feel like you guys are moving the goalposts. We can only go off of what we know and what we seen. We can't go off the what ifs. I don't do gossip blogs. That's why I don't know what's going on, right? I go off
CNN
facts.
News.
I open up books and I read. I'm reading some books right now. I got it right here, How to Be a Team Player. I read books. So I go off of what I see and what I know. And what I know is her ass didn't show up for that black man. And I hate that y'all keep going around it, right? That man was wholeheartedly embarrassed. What she did was wrong. And instead of you just saying that, oh well, maybe she was sick that day. Girl, none of that matter. We go to work when we sick all the time. My daughter went to school, it was -5 degrees yesterday. So what are you really talking about? I feel like y'all sometimes it's just unrealistic with you, Di. Like it's unrealistic to even have that assumption because you don't know. We going off facts. How did you feel when you seen that man there by himself? Like he was there without his wife? Like she should have been there? And I don't care why, because it's bigger than Barack, it's bigger than Michelle. It's about the American people. It's about Black American people, right? So she was wrong. She should have been there. I don't know why that's so hard for you to say. Michelle,
Aisha,
she should have
Aisha,
been.
y'all know what I just realized? Anybody who's struggling to understand the premise of what's been said this evening, this whole conversation is its own checkmate. All right. So all you got to do is show up and people can't speculate. You see how we all talking about what we thought happened and what could have might been? All you got to do is show up and not say a damn word. And can't nobody speculate nothing about you. That is the importance of showing up and playing your position. All of these assumptions and they could be getting a divorce and quiet all that noise by just taking your ass to there in the first place. So this whole conversation just example to show you the drama you can cause and the speculation you can cause by not being there. You know what I mean? So
The sad thing about our women is this, right? They believe that they cannot be held responsible for anything, so they will use mental health to defend their shortcomings or use zodiac sign. Those two things, zodiac sign and mental health. And those two things is just to avoid being held responsible. If you hold her responsible, she say, "Oh, I have a mental health issue." You hold her responsible for one other thing, she say, "Oh, my zodiac sign." When can you stop and understand that two people are responsible for family name, a father and a mother? When your child misbehave, they call the father and the mother. The mother cannot come and say, "Oh, I have a mental health issue," or "I have a zodiac sign." No, you gotta understand. I don't know if you ever been married before or die. The thing about life is this, right? When your husband says, "Let's go somewhere," you go there with him. Because number one, you're the image of your husband. You're a custodian of his name. And men show their wives in public to make other men understand that my wife is well treated. If your husband should go somewhere and other men brought their wives, and you the only one missing, first occasion, people will understand. But second occasion, hell to the no. You got a problem as a woman by not showing up to 2 occasions in a row. And then the next thing you're trying to say the woman may have mental health issue. How do you know she has a mental health issue? That's a big problem if she has a mental health issue. It's a big problem. That means she's not worthy of anything. We got to teach our women to understand the consequences of life. They have to understand the consequences of life. And the reason why a black woman, both in Nigeria and here, can act the way they are is because from childhood, they are not taught responsibility. They're not held accountable for anything. We let them get away with something because they are girls. And when they're married, they can't stay in a relationship because guess what? They've never been held responsible or held accountable for anything. Not showing up to a function with your husband is highly disrespectful. Other people's wives. Hillary Clinton is 70, is 80 years old. She showed up to both occasions. I'm gonna land. White women understand accountability. They they understand responsibility. That is why they behave no matter what. That man cheated on his wife, and his wife never backed down, even after all these years. If Obama had cheated on Michelle, you think they're still going to be married by now? She would have been gone a long time ago. We all know that. She would have been gone. In fact, all these sisterhoods would have told her to dump his ass and be gone. They would have backed her up and encouraged her to leave her husband. The sisterhood would have done that. Alan.